Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to do this live episode a little more relaxed. I don't know what happens. I'm like JoJo the Idiot Circus Clown when I go live. Like I have to be in a rush, but I realize these things only end up being a few minutes long. So I'm going to take my time and show you what I'm up to. I've been really busy over the holidays trying to look at after pickling. So I've pickled the whole axle. These are the tabs I welded on for the Tom's Bronco part rear disc brake kit. So the tabs are on and mocked up so I don't have to cut or weld onto that axle anymore. I'm also doing the same thing with the Dana 44 right now. I'm going to take you down and show you the Dana 44 is currently being pickled. It's still wet. So that center pumpkin after sandblasting, I never painted or anything, and it was orange like a pumpkin. The pumpkin looked like a pumpkin. And now just after it sitting with the OSFO, you can see it's gone gray again, and then it'll get this crusty black junk on it. And then tomorrow I'll get some water, clean it off, and then it'll dry and then look just like that same copper look. I've already done it with the Ford 9-inch housing, the carrier and the pinion, whatever you call that, the pinion carrier. These are my old gears. And then I took the time. These stopper bolts were actually like the nut was welded on there, so I cut that out, took this off. I'm going to get new bolts, stopper bolts, and I'm going to get a new nut and weld it on there, and then grind it. For those of you who are thinking about the hey John, thinking about the Tom's Bronco Parts front disc brake kit, you have to grind your knuckle down. And I always sort of wondered what that would look like, but judging from the pictures, it looks like you basically need to grind it flat right up to the edge of the threads. So I'm going to go to the hardware store, buy a nut and weld that here, and then grind that flush. And that nut should put back some of the strength from me cutting that out. I'm not really worried about it. Again, it's just a limiting nut so you don't overturn your knuckles. And I'm not sure whether that's to keep the tire off the fender or whether that's to prevent your U-joints from going too far. So I've already done the same thing with the other knuckle. Down here is my bag of bolts, okay, and you guys know my box of bolts. And I've talked to Queen City Plating up here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to take this, and they're going to CAD plate all my bolts, my window regulators, all my hardware. I'm saying that I haven't gotten the price yet, so maybe I'll totally change my mind, but right now the plan is to get these all CAD coded, and then I don't have to worry about any corrosion in the future. That's part of my idea of doing this, you know, as professionally as I can. And then I'm going to take you over to the new stuff here. So I've got the ring and pinion kit for the Ford 9-inch, as well as the rebuild kit for the posi in the back. Sorry, a lot of glare there. I already rebuilt the posi, but the springs were broken, so I had to order this kit to get the springs and the holder and all that stuff. So I'll have an episode on that. I got the Dana 44 ring and pinion kit, and then these are my two sets of 411 gears, as well as all my bearings. These are going to be my setup bearings. These are my U-joint. My U-joints for the front axles. So I'm deep into the axle work. 411, John. 411 with stock wheels. So 30-inch tires with 411s and an overdrive. I think that will probably be pretty good on the street and still cruise on the highway. And like the Scout's got 411. So if somebody down the road, a future owner or me, puts 33s on, I know for a fact it'll still work. Oh, don't be jealous, man. You're just driving around an Icon Bronco, man. Come on. Who's jealous of, you know, I'm so mad at John from Nashville Early Bronco. The guy's got all these videos. Hey, Tom. John's got all these videos driving these multi-$100,000 rigs, and this is my Bronco. This is my ride. And my Scout's broken. So, you know, he's enjoying, and I'm here like Gollum in my Bronco parts cave. What's up, Mikey? So, what else can I tell you? You know, I've got my my big 6-inch vise on my workbench now. That thing's a beast. I mean, it is a Harbor Freight special, but it works pretty well. The articulating arm's working well. I've got my chemical cans here. So one of them's got pre-clean and one of them's got OSFO in there. So using chemical resistant sprayers to spray down the axle and all that. So this is where I'm at. Oh, and I finally got the press pulley thing to work. So that now lifts up the center thing, which is a huge help, man. Messing with this thing is such a pain. When you put that pulley on, you're like, why in the world did I not do that before? Oh, this is also really important. Sorry. So loud noises. After my pulley, after my press video, I decided to do the other axle, and that is what happened to the bearing separator. Did you see that? It totally mushroomed out. And pop, the ball bearings went everywhere. So I'm a little bit on the fence about recommending that the puller mod I did in the previous video, because it may be dangerous. Now, I used it on the Dana 44 carrier bearings, work like a charm, but on the other axle, it just didn't get in there far enough, so it just sort of grabbed onto the edge of the bearings, and then havoc ensued. Also, the 9-inch axles have this collar on the inside of the bearing. So, you know, if you're assembling the axle, it goes like backing plate, bearing, collar, seal. Well, that collar, I think, makes it harder to pull off the bearing. So I ended up cutting those out. Yeah, I know that they have those nice clamshell bearing separators, Tom. I'm kind of trying to do things a little bit on the budget. I mean, not everything. For example, I just ordered from Tom's stock leaf springs, because I looked at the old leaf springs and I'm like, I am not going to spend 5, 6, 8 hours rebuilding those springs. They're really rusty. And I ordered those this morning, and they're going to be here on Thursday. So, you know, for, what is it, like $300 for the springs, you know, it's totally worth it. I didn't catch your question, John. Sorry, I was thinking about what I was saying. But, can I see my live chat messages? I don't know. Anyway, one more thing. Oh, yeah, so here's my new 411 carrier. I think you might have been asking, am I going to set up all my gears myself? I am going to set up all my gears myself. I've got a dial indicator. I've figured out how to check the bearing, the pinion depth, and I'm going to take a plunge, man. I know people say don't do it, get the pros to do it, but I'm going to do it, you know. I got the gears, I think I just got them off of Amazon, like Yukon. I'm not sure. I think Tom's might sell Yukon too. The thing about Yukons are they're made in China, you know. If you want American-made gears, I think Spicer still makes them in the U.S. or whatever, but Yukon's got a good rep. They weren't cheap. I got the high-performance ones, so hopefully those do well by me. And and then the last thing I've got sort of in the hopper is, this is my bucket of parts I need to sandblast and paint. So like the cross member, the you know, the end caps for the radius arms, all the stupid spring hangers. Like, I just have like hours and hours of sandblasting to do, and then I'll pick all that, and then I'll paint it when it's not 32 degrees outside. Snowed, made a snowman yesterday, so it's cold and snowy. So that's it for my live episode. Try to get it to be a nice, decent length. I hope that was interesting, guys. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. We had a great Christmas here, and I was able to sneak out to the garage when I'm not supposed to, so that was good too. Anyway, you know, a regular episode will be coming up sometime. I'm doing my best here, guys, but I'm trying to get work done, and videotaping sometimes gets in the way. So take care. Have a Happy New Year, everyone, and be safe. Bye. How do I end this? End it. Oh, there you go. Cut it. Wow. Nice job, rookie.